Good afternoon. I will call this regularly scheduled meeting of the Ways and Means Committee to order. I am the chair of the committee, Abdi Warsami, and with me today are council members Johnson, Fletcher, and Palmasano. And we are a quorum of the committee and can therefore conduct our business today. On the consent item, we have 30 items for consideration, and I will read them. Item number 1 is a legal settlement, property damage claim of Reggie Wright Howard. Item number 2 is a legal settlement, Taquana Rennie Bezu versus the City of Minneapolis. Item number 3 is a legal settlement, Steve Meldal versus City of Minneapolis. Item number 4 is a customization of contract from the Baker Tilly for information technology and cybersecurity audit services. Item number 5 is a contract amendment with Shaw Lundquist Associates, Inc. for Convention Center restroom remodel project. Item number 6 is a bid for the Minneapolis Convention Center's 3rd Avenue ramp repairs. Item number 7 is a bid for the Public Service Building project, terrazzo work. Item number 8 is a contract amendment with Danny's Construction Company, LLC, for structural steel for the Public Service Building project. Item number 9 is a contract amendment with Knutson Construction Services, Inc. for concrete for the Public Service Building project. Item number 10 is a contract amendment with Modern Piping, Inc. for mechanical work, and this is for the Public Service Building project. Item number 11 is a contract amendment with Meyer, Scherer, and Rockcastle, Ltd. for architect and engineer of record design services for the Public Service Building. Item number 12 is a contract amendment with Lejeune Steel Company for additional structural steel for the Public Service Building project. Item number 13 is a contract amendment with Technology Management Corporation for additional information technology and audiovisual consulting services for the Public Service Building. Item number 14, contract amendment with Questions and Solutions Engineering, Inc. for additional consulting services for the Public Service Building. Item number 15 is a contract amendment with Premier Electrical Corporation for increased scope of electrical work for the Public Service Building project. Item number 16 is a contract with Employ Milwaukee, Inc. for Midwest Regional Workforce Development Services. Item number 17 is a contract with Ramsey County Workforce Solutions for Metropolitan Regional Workforce Development Coordination Services. Item number 18 is the Minneapolis Pathways Grant Agreements. Item number 19 is a tax increment financing assistance for the 14th and Central Project, 854, 902, and 904 14th Avenue Northeast. Item number 20 is a site agreement with AmeriCorps to host 2 Minnesota Opioid Response Corps members. Item number 21 is a grant from the Minnesota Department of Agriculture for needs-based technical assistance to retail food establishments. Item number 22 is a National Association of County and City Health Officials grant for opioid response programming and technical assistance. Item number 23 is a revenue agreement with SMG to provide Minneapolis Police Department vehicles for MPD officers during large-scale events. Item number 24 is a revenue agreement with the Minnesota Timberwolves for Minneapolis Police Department MPD to provide bomb detection at Target Center. Number 25 is a contract with Towerside Innovation Districts to implement 2016 Hennepin County Transit-Oriented Development Grant Award for the 4th Street Southeast Reconstruction Project. Item number 26 is an agreement with Rogers Communications for utility-related work on the 11th Avenue South Bridge. Item number 27 is an agreement with Arvig Enterprises for utility-related work on the 11th Avenue South Bridge. Item number 28 is an agreement with MCI Communications Services, Inc. for utility-related work on the 11th Avenue South Bridge. Item number 29 is an agreement with Xcel Energy for utility-related work on the 11th Avenue South Bridge. And item number 30 is a bid for liquid chlorine. And is there any discussion on any of those items from members of the committee? Okay. And we've been joined by Council Vice President Andrea Jenkins as well. So I move approval of all 30 items. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against? Those items have been approved. And now we have one discussion item, item number 31, and this is a request for proposal for best value construction services for the impound facility improvements project. So this is authorizing the best value agreement request for construction of the new impound facility improvements project. And I think we have staff here, Ms. Pam Fernandez, to go over this discussion item.
Council Member Chair Warsami and all council members. I'm here to give you a really brief presentation of the difference between low bid, which is our standard practice of construction and commodity purchases, and as well as the best value contracting. So as you can see in the first slide over there, our standard practice for any commodities and construction purchases to go with the low bid, which means the lowest price offered to us by the vendors for any project. And then for professional services, we issue the request for proposals, which is the RFP process. RFP is not based on price, but on qualifications, experience, other things like that. So the third option, which is the best value contracting, this is not a common way of doing contracting, but it is something that we are exploring with larger projects. So this one here is a pilot project. So the one we are bringing over here today is an RFP for the impound lot construction and amendments to the existing facility there. So best value contracting, just to give you an idea of how that one works, it can be used only for construction, alteration, repair, and maintenance of our city-owned property. So impound lot fits to that category here. And when we do that one, per the state statute, we have to follow a certain process to do that one. And for this particular RFP, we worked with Hennepin County, and we're following their process. So Hennepin County has the best value contracting process in place for many years now. So they have a very well-established process. So we're going to, use that process to do our process as well and see how that goes and make changes as needed when we actually put this one in place for the future. So the next, a couple of things that would that differentiates the best value processes, like in the bid, we can just specify what we need, and then they would just offer a price, and whoever puts a low price, we have to accept it. For best value, we can put more criteria in it. So we can put price as a criteria. We can do the experience of key personnel as a criteria, past projects as a criteria. So it kind of helps us to decide if we are getting into the right contract with someone for the project that is as large as this one. It minimizes the risk to some extent too. I'm going to go through a couple of other types of contracting. That is the construction manager as an advisor, which is the CMA process, where we would ask or hire a construction manager for a large project like this one. But then city will still do all the bids and everything underneath that. And it is similar to what we are having with our new building. And construction manager at risk is another one where right now we are not authorized to do that kind of contracting. This is the one where the construction manager would come in, accept, they will be doing everything for the city. So they're kind of accepting some risk too that comes with it, but we are not authorized to do that at this point. So for any best value contracting, instead of advertising a bid, we have to do an RFP. So that is the difference. It's a little more longer, detailed process for this one. Then within that RFP, I'm going to go to the next page to show you how we are evaluating a proposer. So as you can see, we want to put like half of the points to the cost. So that means we're kind of making sure that we're still going to get the low cost from a proposer. And the remaining 500 points, we're going to be dividing it up between the 4 categories. And that would be like the company key personal experience, SUBP participation or good faith efforts, project planning, delivery and safety, and then risk plan. And I want to mention a little bit about the SUBP participation. In a low bid situation, it's whatever the low bid contractor is proposing. I mean, we will go through it to make sure that, they made an effort or they are complying with the goals request, but it's only goals. It's not something that we're like really, making them do it. So that's the difference. But in this situation, there's a little more advantage for us because if they don't do a good job of telling us, or subcontracting some of the work, they're going to lose points here. So that's the big difference. So each of those criteria, like it's about that half of those points, 25% of their points is on SUBP and, personal experience and things like that. So they need to make an effort to show us that they are serious about this one. So that's the good thing about the best value.
I think there's a question from Council Vice President Jenkins. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair Rasami. So what does company key personnel experience mean, and how is that different from SUBP participation?
So the company's key personal experience is we want to know like if the company is experienced in doing projects as big as this one. And so we say like company or key personal experience, and that is actually to cover somebody who started a new business, but then they were, like already working with another large company, and they have, so it's to make sure that we're not excluding anybody.
So it expands opportunities for people.
Yes, it does. So if it is a new company, but then, key personnel in that company had already experience with other major companies, they could still come in and qualify.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Okay. And the last slide here, it just have, so I told you like we were working with the Hennepin County for the, best value process to see like how they are doing it. And they shared with us that the information were like in 2011, how many of these are actually going to the lowest bidder? So it's an encouraging number here. And as of 2017, 90% of that did go to the lowest bidder too. So in addition to being the low cost, we are also getting the other things in place.
Okay. So you can use the best value with the lowest bid?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why like we're putting the criteria of the price at 50%. So that would make sure that, we're still getting a good value.
Okay, but in terms of the process time, because this you require an RFP is required.
Yes.
How does that impact the project then? I mean, the low bids, you just send in a bid and we review it. They get it or they don't get it. Here you have an RFP. There's going to be a committee look at it. How's the timeline affected by it?
So for a construction project that is just a low bid, we are just doing a specification for what we need. And then we'll put our CD terms and conditions, things like that, with the bid package. This one here, it takes more time, more effort from the city to actually make an effort to say, like, this is the criteria that we want to go by. This is what we are trying to achieve. And there will be a committee evaluating. In the low bid situation, it's procurement looking at it, and then civil rights looking at the SUBP component.
So in terms of the delay of time, does that make it harder for us to process, or
it will
how much more time does it take?
I want to say an RFP process would go anywhere from 3 to 6 months to put it in place and to go through the approvals, council, and all that.
Okay. But a low bid takes?
A low bid takes probably 2 months time frame, 2 to 3 months, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Any other questions? We asked in committee for this presentation because we wanted to know what are the two differences. What is best value, what is just the low bid. I think Pam did a very good presentation, so thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions from the committee? Seeing none, I move approval of item number 31. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? And that item has been approved, and seeing no further business, we are adjourned. Thank you.